No, I'm talking about two libraries, streamlit and gradio, which to pick. And spoiler alert, the answer will be yes. Now, I will give a little introduction to gradio and streamlit and three different use cases on the perspective of a backend developer, data analyst, machine learning data scientist, and drag some conclusion, and there's so much awaited answer to the question. You can check out these slides, are available online if you want to follow with your mobile phone or so. Let's go on. Now, streamlit and gradio are two Python packages which are designed to create some simple web apps with low effort or relative low effort mode. It means that you can create some web app with just a bunch of lines of code. Too fast. You can use either of them to create a simple interface for presenting your work to your coworkers which do not code, or to your customers as well. Because the situation, for instance, in my work experience is that you present something to the PM and you just present the code and the execution, and he has no clue or where to look. What I'm seeing now. But when you show a web app with the very same stuff, oh, here it is. I know this is the result. This is what I wanted. So this is just a way to focus on the code work instead of what comes before and what is more important to us. And let's do the rest of the work. Let's look at the home pages. Streamlit introduces itself as a faster way to build and share data apps. In a very similar manner, gradio introduces itself like build and share machine learning app. So build and share is common between the two, while gradio just focuses on the machine learning perspective. There are many common features. Both of them are run by a company. Streamlit has its own Streamlit company and cloud service, while gradio is on Hugging Face. On both of them, you can give multimedia input and outputs, like text, image, video, audio, or any binary file you can imagine. There are customizable buttons, sliders, and filters you can use, and you can display outputs in multimedia, but also in other formats like pandas data frame, some charts, some graph, and some chat-like text that can appear all of a sudden. Both of web apps can be published to respective platforms and hosted for free with limitation, of course. There are some differences. Well, gradio introduces itself as a machine learning stuff, so it's input and output by default. So the default and simplest use of it is you have a box for the input and a box for the outputs, while streamlit is not falsely so. Functions are the triggers for gradio, while streamlit is script-based. So you just execute a script in a sequence. So by consequences on gradio, the operation sequence is defined by user. So you can place your button wherever you like, but it does the very same function that you defined. While on streamlit, by default, again, the operation sequence is from the top to the bottom of the page you're creating. A function runs or reruns as you click the button, and never again. And in streamlit, to the other side, all operations run by default in a script manner. And they rerun as one element that went before change. So I have one filter at the top and the graph at the bottom. Say, if I change the filter, the rest of the script will execute again and the graph will change. The gradio has by default, again, a rigid block structures, and streamlit has no such rigid structure, as all actions are defined at least in the default manner. So, first story. Suppose you're a backend developer and you have to show any Python function or service you wrote. I put in a very simple hello world like service on Flask So you just call the method get on slash, so on the home of the service. And if you have your name in the arguments, it will print hello name. And if you don't print anything, it's hello known. Let's present it. The way to run a Flask app, of course, is the same as always. So Flask app, name of the Python file run, and the host and the port. On streamlit, this is a way to recall that service, that microservice, of course, and with the name has the only input that I want. Let's take st.text input. So I'm asking the user to write the name, and if it writes the name, just write what the service returns. Let's see it in action. Of course, the way to run a streamlit is just streamlit run and the name of the app. Pretty straightforward and easy. Now let's see it in action. Should be autoplaning. Okay, this is the Flask service. I'm making it run, and it's running right now. Let's move to another. I'm doing a streamlit run, and it opens a browser where I'm asked for the name. My name is Davide. Hello, Davide. But I can say that to Moto, and so it's hello, Moto. Yeah, I'm that old. Now, let's make the very same thing, but with gradio. Well, the function is the same as before. You just define the interface, and that will be the very core functioning and a very hello world-ish of hello world of gradio. Now, the function will be hello, so it always have to run by a function, if you recall, and to define the inputs and the outputs in its format, so text and text. So I will have a text in input and a text as the output, and the trigger will be the function hello. Let's see it in action. As you can see, there are separate blocks created by just those lines of code, and I have to click on the submit to have the function executed. And again, I try to change the name, and a different name will be displayed. Second case scenario, suppose you're a data analyst, and you have to write a report of the Titanic CSV dataset. Say you have to make a bar plot of survival radius and filter it by sex, age, and maybe class. Now, for those who don't know it, the Titanic dataset is the hello world of data analysis, and it's the very first one. People recall the movie when I watch it and working with it with the first time. I actually recall middle school flutes really out of pitches. In Italy, we were forced to play it, and it was awful. So I made a generated image with middle schoolers playing it as the Titanic was shipping, just to make a laugh about it. Let's go on. So this is the time for streamlit to shine, because it's more made for data analysis. Let's make a title, Titanic dataset. I can read a CSV directly from the GitHub and put a divider just for doing nice thing. Let's make the filters. The filters are for class, sex, and ages. I put it on 3 different columns. So the cause with the index from now on will be the thing to call instead of st. So instead of st.multiselect, it will be call.multiselect. By is the p-class, sex, and age I'm iteratively working on, and the option will be the unique values. So if not, the length of select is 0. I just filter the data set with that measure in that list that I specified, and put another divider and just write the data frame and chart. So st.bar chart will make a bar chart, of course, and while st.write is the magic of streamlit. So it takes pretty much everything in and just display. It is a pandas data frame. You will see a data frame in that case. Let's see it in action. This is what I get from this very code that I showed you. Suppose I filter by first class and female, and this is the result. It's pretty nice looking result for a few lines of code, in my opinion. From this, you get, as the movie taught us, that if you're a female in the first class, it's all right, while if you're a male on third class, better start your prayings. Let's try the very same thing with the gradio package. So it's pretty similar. Initially, you have to define a filter function, which will be the trigger function. And this is the function that filters. It is similar to the previous one, but it does not have this for. Okay, let's make the interface. The function will be the filter. The inputs will be 2 drop-downs. Choose male, female, or first, second, third class. I did not filter by age this time. The output will be 2. In this case, 1 data frame and a bar plot of a data frame. If you look at the previous function, we have 2 data frames, and it's the very same object, but in this case I'm treating them differently. In one case it will be shown the data frame itself, and in a second case a bar plot of it. So you call demo.launch and just run this file, and this is what you get. So you just pick a gender and a class, and in the right pane you will have the data frame filtered, so only males in here, if I don't get wrong, and the survival rate as before. Okay. How I'm doing with the time? I think it's fine. Okay, I can go slower. Maybe I run out a little too much. Suppose you're a machine learning data scientist and you have a model to show. Suppose just an image detector. You will have to pick some different image in your demo, and so the input image will change. There is indeed an hello world image for the computer vision stuff, which is Lina. But Lina herself told she didn't want to appear in more article and more scientific and more computer-related stuff. So I'm going to respect that. So the data in that case will be myself during another conference, and what I will from now on propose as a new default for computer vision, which is my own cat. Okay, my own cat had that teeth that came after her mouth. She was a very nice cat, despite her appearance, so you can trust her. But I was arguing with my aunt, this is not a cat, and I can prove it, and I will prove it. Let's see if she will categorize as a cat or not. I hope not. So, it's time for Gradio to shine. This is quite simple to do in Gradio. For doing the object classification, I just use a client, which is a Gradio client, Hugging Face one, sorry. And you get the file name from the input, and as an output, you got the image where you draw boxes on the result of the object detection. So you will see myself or the cat with boxes stating what it is. Demo.launch, and let's see the results. As always, I had to upload the cat.jpg cat and click submit, and it states that it's a cat, and it's pretty sure of it. I do not agree. But apparently my aunt was right according to this model. Now, let's get to streamlit. This is a bit more complicated. As you can see, there's more lines of code. The object detect function is the very same one as before. Let's make a title, image detector. I have to upload the file, and you do it with st.fileuploader, and you choose the image file. And only if there is an uploaded file, he goes on. Recall, streamlit is a script, so if you don't put if, this line of code will execute by default even if you don't have an image, and this will give error, of course. Now, let's take the name as before, call the object detect function, and display the image. I could use write, but this is an image, it's more proper. Check out the results. Okay, I had to drag on and upload the davide.jpg file, and he showed a laptop, a bottle, and a person, which apparently is, so I'm a normal human being. That's cool. So let's jump to the conclusions. Both packages have made recent advancement in which this division, gradio for data, machine learning, streamlit for data analysis, wants to get broken more and more. So you can think of building with them a more generic web app if you want. But still, gradio is namely built around the data scientist need. So I will have just one function as a trigger, and that will be my input-output, and that function will contain my machine learning model execution. Streamlit is possibly better for data analysis. Both are great for presenting to colleagues any overcomplicated code that you made, focusing on the functionalities and hiding the implementation details. Both of them have a great learning curve. You can start with a very few lines of code, the one that I present you today. If you want to check out the video or the slides again, you can. And this will give you fully functional stuff. But you just want to learn more and more of it. And as much as you use it, as much as you want to learn more. So it's pretty much another rabbit hole to follow. So thank you very much for listening. These are my contacts if you want to check up with me. Bye.
Thank you, David. So we have some time at hand. So do we have any questions? Sorry? Okay. Okay.
All good. I was just wondering, are there customization options for the charts, particularly in gradio?
Yes, there are. In gradio, you can display any image. So the easiest customization you can make is just plot as a matplotlib or wherever library you can use, save it as a file, and display the image file. That will be the easiest way to do customization for it.
Awesome. Thank you. And really good talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Too nice.
More questions?
Yeah, I generally use Streamlit, but I recently developed an application with Gradio because I needed smooth state management between different users, and I haven't tried with Streamlit. So if you can expand this point of state management, multi-users.
That's a very cool point. Thank you. Streamlit has some cache memory. So you can just memorize some function or data as well. So suppose you have one pandas data frame, say, or whatever, or the function or data of Python object that you can save for other purposes, you can. And so you can, Streamlit can divide the web app into pages. And a page is a different Python script, but you can take say from the home page. If the home page loads the data, you can save the data and just get it back for another script in another page. That's a very cool feature.
Questions?
Hello, thank you for your talk. Have you tried UI components in Streamlit and Gradio for chat interfaces? And also, have you tried other framework like Chainlit for building up chat interfaces? Thank you.
I did do some limited tries for building a chat like web app. It's not perfect yet, in my opinion, because it doesn't yet look a real chat with a real person. It seems a bit of a fake thing. In both Streamlit and Gradio in this moment, but my opinion. And no, I haven't tried any alternative, but thank you for your suggestion.
More questions? So I guess coffee break starts a little early. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's the best part.